Hey guys, it's Marco again. Today presenting you my favorite boss of the whole raid, the Guild Breaker Painsmith Raznal. He's probably the hardest or second hardest boss of this whole raid, and I love him because the boss requires super team coordination and there is something special about it when you see 18 players working in unison, while you have those two demon hunters just jumping away from the platform and avoiding the spikes. This is the last boss that I have to cover for this raid, and I was playing Frost when I finally got a kill on him without dying in the last phase. So let's see how it went. So we're starting the boss, and I'm running the normal Frost Mage talents together with the Freezing Winds legendary. I'm starting with the normal opener, mirror images, precast Frostbolt into Mirrors of Torment, and I'm not gonna use a potion here because we're using it in the last phase. We already have set locations for where we need to be, so we can't cross the triangle on the screen, and if you pass the triangle, you're probably gonna die. And now we get the first set of the balls. I don't really do any DPS to the big ball because it's the first one and the players are just gonna melt it. And you can notice that I keep casting my Blizzard onto the balls just because I want to get my Frozen Orb back as soon as possible. And as you can see, like 30-ish seconds into the fight, I already have my second Frozen Orb. And that's just using your Blizzard super smartly. There's a one nasty trap. Also, just to note, you don't really want to pad the DPS on the balls because if the ball doesn't die, your DPS isn't going to count towards it. And when you get the chains, you just move on to the correct place where you need to be. And now I'm focusing the first ball, and also you have to remember that you should use your shimmers if you need to pass the balls. Now I'm in a bit of a tricky situation, but I'm coming back to my team. Now for the intermission phase, you just need to follow your guild, have a unison in walking. The most important thing is that you always bait the swirlies into the positions where you're not gonna be safe, and then just move to the safe position. It's actually funny how hard this was at the start. So many vibes were wasted. And now we're using the Demonic Gateway. I'm casting my Blizzard here because we're gonna get all the horrors here, popping my Icy Veins together with Frozen Orb. Make sure to keep 100% uptime of your Blizzard here, and then just focus on the boss when the ads are dead. Use your Mirrors of Torment here, and we're gonna have a new set of the balls. So just throw your Frozen Orb there. And also be careful about the spikes. They're really nasty in the second phase already. And now I'm just gonna blink over the balls and just continue smacking the boss. I get my second Icy Propulsion here, and I'm gonna deal a huge amount of damage. The phase 2 is the only phase in which you can actually do 2 Icy Veins. The first phase doesn't last too long, and the second phase is perfect because the most of the raid team is gonna use their cooldowns on the horrors. So this phase is actually the longest, and the last one is just paired with heroism and potions, so it's gonna be super quick. And now I'm padding the balls with the Blizzard just to reduce my Frozen Orb, and that's just rinse and repeat. The boss is soon gonna phase, and I already have my Icy Veins almost back up, so I'm gonna have it up for the last phase. The boss is phasing, we have a nasty spikes together with the intermission, so I just need to be careful, dodge these spikes and be ready to go through the hole. And in the second intermission you get the balls from the sides, and they're not really stressful. Maybe they're gonna be stressful in the first few pulls, but it's just, the transition is kinda always the same. You just wait and bait the swirlies and move to the free space. And now we stacked up as a unit, so we can just move forward a bit. Now we actually got a nasty intermission because it's gonna be hard for us to go back, and I almost got caught by the spikes, so I had to use my blink. Again, it's the same situation. I use my blizzard preemptively, pop my icy veins, I pop my potion and heroism, I mean time warp, and this is basically just a burn phase, and I got super unlucky here by getting chains. So I'm gonna lose quite a bit of DPS here because I'll have to move away from my Rune of Power, because in this phase you have to move a bit when you get the chains, of course. And now I kind of lost my whole Rune of Power, so that was my bad. And then I just blinked over both the balls and the spikes. And the boss is now melting, but I made a mistake by not saving my Rune of Power, and that could affect my DPS slightly, so I maybe could have gotten a 96 or 97 log, not a 95 log. And now we need to be super tight with stacking near the balls and just finish the ball and then finish the boss. These are the last balls. Make sure to dodge the spikes and the boss is pretty much dead. It seems simple, but trust me, this is the hardest boss for me. I had the most wipes on this boss. Actually, Sylvanas is the hardest, but yeah, she's the last boss, so it's expected. But this is the second last boss for sure. Overall, I'm happy with my performance on this boss. It could have been better if I didn't get all the chains. I basically got about 4 chains, if I'm sure, through this whole fight. And the first chains aren't that bad, but if you get the chain in the third phase, you have to move quite a bit, so it's kinda annoying. That's it for this video. I hope that it was informative and that you guys learned how to properly deal with Painsmith Raznal on Mythic difficulty. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks for my Patreons for sticking up with me, even though I didn't have any content going on the YouTube. And until next video, take care.